Fucking hell.
Oh my god.
What did we just record?
Oh my god.
That was like 20 minutes of just pure bullshit. I love it, dude.
Hello, and welcome to episode number 2 of the Musically Challenged podcast.
Hello.
I'm Julian, and I'm joined by the two degenerates, Sam and Mike, as usual.
Hello, I'm Sam, and I'm trying not to say pussy too many times
Mike.
this podcast.
This Mike.
Right, that's enough.
That's all I need to say.
What have you guys been listening to recently that I don't know about?
Well, Julian,
Yeah.
let me just go into my
Go forth,
recently
Sam.
played on Spotify.
Other
Right,
things exist for listening to music other than
Shut up,
Spotify.
mate. Right,
That's the one.
so I've been listening to a bit of Bon Iver,
Bit of Bon Iver.
because they released a new album recently,
Mm-hmm.
and my dad went, listen to the new Bon Iver, and I went, okay.
He's a
And it's
dance boy.
good, and then I listened to the rest of Bon Iver, because I heard it a little bit, but I don't think I've heard all the albums. Very pleasant.
Okay.
Pleasant.
My other big listening thing this week, which I have a feeling this is why Julian created this segment, is because I have to retract a previous statement. You don't see Julian, he's dancing like a little giddy goat.
Yeah.
I have to retract my previous statement, which I said last week, which was, Death Grips are bad. I like Death Grips now, so I've been listening to Death Grips.
It's happened.
I still understand that they're a very degenerate band, maybe even the most degenerate band, but I've come to appreciate how degenerate they are and strive to be as degenerate.
I would say it suits us.
Yeah, it does.
The degenerate level.
Definitely.
It suits us.
Yeah.
And I have no idea how we're falling down this slippery slope.
No.
But both me and you are getting
Going
slowly
even more
into
degeneracy.
the degenerate level
Well, I
of
mean,
Death Grips.
It's all part of the plan.
I think, yeah.
Julian's made us
It was
happen.
Julian's plan all along to get me, Nick, everyone in the house, just so
Yeah.
it's like the most degenerate thing, and then Death Grips
The
comes
worst.
along.
Yeah. Well,
Mike.
other than some Death Grips, which I have listened to this week, Slippery Slope, like I said.
Yeah.
Aside from that, I have actually been listening to a little bit of Avi Tear's solo stuff.
Avi Tear of
Yeah.
Animal Collective fame.
Shout out to a previous episode where we were talking about Animal Collective.
And
Go and watch it.
Julian did a
Very high
horrific
quality.
screech. Turn down, headphone listeners.
Yeah. But anyway, his solo stuff, it's quite interesting, I think. I quite like it.
Sounds like Animal
Weirdly
Collective
addictive.
stuff.
It does
Similar?
quite a bit, yeah. But I think Avi's always had that. That's his musical
He's
style.
always had his little quirks.
Yeah, and he brings that to...
And that kind of thing.
Jesus
God's
Christ,
sakes,
that heart
Julian.
attack.
That was all part of the plan, boys.
He does not do those screams on this album. He doesn't.
Oh.
No?
It's quite laid back.
Well, why do I listen to it then? Give me some reasons.
Well, I don't know how to explain it, but
I'm
it
still
is-
recovering from that
It's
scream. to be
quality, low key. It's not as upbeat as some Animal Collective stuff, but it's got the watered down effects. It's got some really strong lyrics, and honestly, one of the best transitions I've heard out of any Animal Collective songs.
Ooh,
It's interesting.
big claims.
Got some good.
I was about to make comments to
It's seamless.
break the glass into story 5, but about
That was last
transitions.
episode.
Yeah.
We're done now.
I thought you said best transitions ever, and
Shout
I was
out to
like,
episode 1.
excuse me.
That is a good transition. I'll
It
agree
is
with
very
that. So.
good.
Yeah. That's it.
And Julian,
Speaking of transitions,
what have you been listening to this week?
I've been listening to a few things, boys. I'll have you know. A few new things. We all know that how much I love Bjork.
Yeah.
How much we all love
We
Bjork.
all love Bjork. I've been swayed over to Bjork
Just watch.
by a single video.
Oh yeah.
Sadly non-pornographic, but it is
It's
her talking about telly,
television.
and it's the most adorable thing you'll ever watch.
Before you go off on
break
that
out on
meme,
the it's
can
like
I,
a city
that
memes.
one, right? Can I say
Go ahead.
I've been listening to the Sugar Cubes, which
Oh,
is
yeah?
the group that Bjork was in before she went
Before
solo.
Bjork went,
Yeah.
fuck this shit, I'm out.
Exactly. And so I've been listening
And
to that kind of
Opinions.
yes,
Is
it's
it
like
good?
I mean, there's a little bit of jangle pop in it in a way, kind of like the Smiths, and
Okay.
maybe the Stone Roses as well.
Hey.
That
But
sounds like an
there's
interesting
still
mix.
like some
there's still
some of the
Bjork
punk
there.
rock stuff, and there's still of course Bjork as the lead singer, which just I can't contain myself each time. And then
Gang
That's
Gang
it.
is still open.
The Sugar Cubes are going on it. They're all going on it. If they're as Julian describes, they're all on it, and you're involved as well. By the way, viewer, listener, you're involved. Me,
Can I
you,
join?
Tom York, the sugar cubes,
What about me?
and that includes Bjork.
Can I finish, please, mate?
Go on, Julian.
So I've also been listening to this interesting trio called Brain Tentacles.
Ooh.
American trio. Can't remember exactly where they're from, but I do know they create one
America.
of the weirdest.
The USA.
Yeah, all right, Sam. Can't stop being just a fucking smart ass and let me finish. They make one of the weirdest blends of genres I've ever heard. Where they have a saxophone player, a bass guitarist, and a drummer. And the drummer plays like he's in a black metal band with these weird, fast double bass drum blast beats. Saxophone player plays like he's got to play the saxophone to save his fucking life. And the bassist just hammers down really, really aggressive, kind of almost metalish bass lines. And it's really noisy. And it's kind of
It's very strange.
the strangeness of it kind of drew me in.
Yeah.
You showed us.
Yeah, Julian played it to us today.
Yeah.
And I think when he pressed play, my eyes opened like massively.
They did.
I hadn't got that much sleep. That woke me up.
Yeah.
That was pretty much first thing this morning,
The
wasn't it?
expression
was.
was golden.
Right off the bus, into the SU, brain tentacles.
Slap round the face with a brain
Whoa.
tentacle.
What the hell?
Yeah.
And
What's going
also,
on?
quick mention also to Yorkshire-born music producer, the Haxon Cloak, who I think is now based in London.
Yep.
He's got this album called Excavation. It's this really weird, electronic, ominous, dark ambient type,
Julian showed me.
spooky, like horror
It
music
scared me.
soundtrack.
It scared me a
type
lot.
stuff. It's a wild ride.
I would not listen
Can
to it.
confirm, I got spooked.
I got spooked.
I had to hold him one night. He was just.
It was a lot of spooning.
He was having night terrors, and I had to help.
It was a scary album though. That first track. I wouldn't listen to the first track
big-
in open
big
daylight,
hits.
surrounded by lots of friendly people. Let alone walking back home like you did in the dark.
In the dark.
Why would you do that? You're a crazy man.
Imagine
man.
if one of those like
It's that
scary
scary.
clown mask people came out whilst you were listening to that.
It's just the
You
rising
died
sign.
of terror.
Yeah,
Just
Yeah.
laid down and died.
I
That
would've-
wouldn't have been good.
The music
No.
kills you in terror.
Is
That's
it?
what it does. It's the sound. It's too strong. It's overwhelming. I had a scary experience. That's how I would describe the whole
It's a
thing.
scary experience.
And it was
Did
10 out
this
of 10.
album trigger you?
I was a
Like,
little bit triggered.
I was-
I was a little bit triggered, and it's all Julian's fault.
Speaking of triggers,
I think that's
Who are we
my
gonna
fault.
talk about today?
Preoccupations,
Yep.
Preoccupation.
formerly known as
Viet
hold
Cong.
it, steady on. For the triggered viewer, I think this is pretty saucy. Viet Cong. Now it's very rude. Like
Viet Cong.
we'll leave it like a couple minutes so you can calm down from like
Yeah.
how disgusting.
Find a safe space.
What
Julian's shaking.
that
He's
band had to be changed.
physically shaking.
Thanks for that, Tumblr.
Yeah. Well, do you know what happened? I heard the story. This is the story behind why they suddenly had to change their name from Viet Cong to Preoccupations.
Yes.
They were playing a gig at a
Oh,
university
the
somewhere.
Fucking SJW didn't get mad, did they?
Yep, they boycotted the gig. They didn't turn up. This was a.
They don't even know if they're going to
I
like
don't
the
know
music
where.
or not.
I think maybe.
Oh
Let me
my
fact check
God.
this. But it was
this
somewhere in America.
Yeah, of course it's in America.
Yeah. They went to campus on a university. They entered a safe space by accident, and they started playing. And then people saw their name, Viet Cong.
They're like
Fully
A
triggered.
thing from history that was bad.
Yeah.
Ah,
They had a
I've got to
flashback.
boycott this concert. Fuck the music.
They had
They've
a-
got a bad name.
They got triggered into a massive Vietnam flashback. That's what happened.
That's
and
exactly what
it
happened.
caused a whole.
Imagine if the band The
upheaval.
Fuck Button visited. That's a real.
Oh, fuck buttons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine if they visited.
They did music for the Olympics
They
actually,
would've, didn't
and
they?
and they had to, on the official soundtrack, which I forgot, they had to be credited as F buttons.
No.
And so when I googled F buttons and fuck buttons came up,
Yeah.
I was a bit confused.
So you're looking for an extra F on your keyboard. You went F
Ooh.
buttons, and then you found a new band.
Well, so shout
Should we
out
move on to
uh,
like some good banter now?
Well, yeah. I just want to do a quick
This is
shout
like
out.
Shit post.
This is a shout out to Oberlin College. That's where Viet Cong played. That's the safe space where people got so triggered they had to change their
Oberlin
name.
College. Listen to me. There are two genders.
It's in Ohio. Fun fact.
You understand that? Shut the fuck up. It's not that offensive. Go away.
We're gonna
God's sake.
We're gonna napalm you. I'm
Trigger-
sorry. I'm just saying we're gonna napalm you.
So what
Bit of
music do
Agent Orange.
Preoccupations actually make, Mike?
What music do they make? Well,
What does it sound like?
I would describe it as post-punk. It's very
Whenever
heavy.
post comes in, you know it's flipping. You know it's hipster.
Hipster. It's
Yeah.
post something. It's post-punk. That's what I'd say. It's not. Yeah. It's quite. It's got a lot of full momentum.
It's very jammy.
It's quite
Yeah.
jammy. They're very much a jam band. And And I would say I characterise them by almost like an ability to just mess around with song lengths and have some songs that will drag on for a long amount of time, but you won't feel it because they will just, in the middle of their jam, suddenly switch into some other gear and head off on a different direction, almost on a different song. And then on certain other songs that are shorter, they just cut them short. I would say they do that quite often.
So you say that's
the common
point.
No, it is a selling point. It is. I'd say no, it is.
He's not saying that like cutting off songs just because you don't have any ideas. That's bad. But the appeal of a band who can like do that as well as make more fleshed out songs.
They're very much a jam band. They can easily play for as long as they want. They can. What they do, they build an album. Now this is what I've discovered. I've listened to, probably out of all of us, I've listened to both their albums the most. Obviously the original Viet Cong, very much about war, death, all the atrocities of human nature.
Bending newspaper spoons.
Newspaper spoons being bent, bunker busters.
Poisonous gas.
Falling off the edge of a continental shelf, all that stuff, all classic war stuff. And their new album, Preoccupations, which I'd say maybe more about, emotions, basic emotions. It's quite hard to pin down, but it's going to a very dark place.
It's a bit more kind of gothic and ominous than the...
It is very much gothic and ominous.
The jammy stuff on the original album.
I'd say the common thread between both of them is this ability to make the music pretty disjointed, right? And on purpose, for the sake of the album.
Yeah.
I'd say. The very first album, Viet Cong, it had some seriously addictive, just parts of the songs, snippets of the songs. Yeah, riffs, basically. And you get seriously dragged into them and they get stuck in your head. But just to make it super disjointed and, feel like you're actually amongst the war that's going on, Vietnam, you're there, man. You weren't there, man.
You don't know.
You don't know. But you do know if you listen to the album, because they make it disjointed. They cut out these, these riffs, these snippets, so that you can no longer listen to them and you're dragged into something else.
Do you think if they showed made a Vietnam vet listen to Viet Cong, do you think they'd have flashbacks?
I have a theory. I feel like someone on that college campus.
Yeah.
Bit of a Vietnam, vet. Bit of a Vietnam vet going on there.
Vietnam vets going to college.
You do understand that.
I mean, have you seen the memes on the internet with the babies getting triggered? Have you seen that meme picture?
Yes, I have seen that meme picture.
How do you think that happens? How do you explain that, Sam?
Oh, it's because of Viet Cong.
Yeah.
They're a terror to our nation.
You don't have to be in Vietnam to know what it was like, thanks to Viet Cong. That's my conclusion.
Alright.
Full conclusion for the whole of the first album, I'd say.
Yeah.
Right. Do you want to talk a bit more about the second album? So that's the one that's just got released, isn't it?
Yeah. So that's the background on Viet Cong. That's the reason they have the name change, and that's the reason we fell in love with them, that first album.
Yeah.
It was probably a favourite of mine from 2014,
2015
when it was released.
One of my favourites too.
So we were super hyped about I was personally anyway. I don't know about.
And I was super nagged.
Sam was unaware.
To this band.
Yeah, we were super hyped about this new album. Again, their second self-titled album, thanks to a name change, Preoccupations, which is what they're known as now. Thoughts? What were your thoughts on the album when it came out, Julian?
So I want to mention the 3 singles that were released in the lead up.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
So first of all, we got the first track from the album, which is, in my opinion, releasing the first track from an album before the full thing is a little bit of a double-edged sword. Because you either give a really good first impression, or typically, if it's good, you give a great first impression, you leave people wanting more. But then, say if your album's like a concept album or there's some deeper meaning to it, you can leave people with maybe a good song, but still kind of confused as to what purpose it serves in the context of the album.
Right.
If you see what I mean.
Yeah.
However, I don't think that they made a mistake releasing the first song on this, because
it's a very good song.
I still think it's one of the best songs on the album.
Anxiety, that is.
Anxiety is the name of the song.
It's got very reminds me a lot of The National, which means that every time I listen to Preoccupations,
you get triggered and you have flashbacks to The National.
So Sam is quite new to Preoccupations / Viet Cong.
Formerly
known as.
I've listened to Preoccupations, the album, probably a good 4 times.
That's more than I have, because I've listened to it probably a good 3 times.
Mine's like
Me and Mike
6 to
listened
10.
to it the other day while we were cooking dinner. It was very romantic.
It was hot. I spooned.
We tickled
You
each other a
cooked.
bit.
Yeah.
But
Good
let's
time.
just keep that on the down low.
Sam's going on my gangbang list.
Yes, boys, I'm on the list.
Don't tell him; it'll make him too happy.
Oh,
So yeah, no. So
everyone, I think most people were surprised with Anxiety because it was a hell of a lot darker in
It
mood
was.
than all the stuff on the previous
so their
album.
previous album was about war.
Some called Anxiety.
It's true. It's very true.
Yeah, I know, but their previous album was about war. So
Yeah.
you get this.
They had a
track-
song on their previous album called Death.
They did.
It was 11 minutes long,
Yeah.
and it was the best song of 2015. That's
It's
fact.
a good song. Not my favourite on the album, actually.
Excuse me.
But that was
Have you heard
Silhouettes.
Drones by Muse?
God.
Mate,
Well,
that was an absolute banger.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do like Anxiety a lot.
yeah, so Anxiety.
It's weird. It's got like a little bit of a drony sort of noise vibe
I
at
feel
the
like-
start.
Yeah,
and
definitely
then
does.
just the guitars
Yeah.
kick in, and it's just like, yes,
I feel like for you,
yes.
I feel like the
10 out
sound,
of 10.
it's got a lot of the sounds that he likes, I think. That's what
Yeah.
I'd
No,
say
I
the kid
do,
is.
I do
Ju-
like a bit of noise from time to time.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I
yeah.
was definitely like, oh, this is weird. And then just guitars kicked in. He started singing. He's got a lovely voice. I'm just like, I'm loving life. It's great.
Yeah, yeah.
Matt Flegel, he's the lead singer. He kind of speaks in the voice that he sings in.
Does he?
'Cause
I've never heard
I
him.
watched a couple of interviews, and he's
Oh,
got
yeah.
kind of quite a low, quite a raspy voice like this.
Okay.
Of course, he's got a Canadian accent, but that's
He does.
give or take.
They're
that
from
much.
Canada.
They are from Canada.
Oh, Canada.
Let's be clear, Canada have produced some fucking brilliant bands.
Oh,
Justin Bieber.
Loads.
Can we just say?
I said bands,
My
not
favourite.
solo artists. You cuck. Now, can I please mention
Justin
Godspeed
Bieber,
You
the
Black
band,
Emperor?
the tribute band.
The
That's my
tribute band.
favourite. Go on.
Godspeed You Black Emperor.
Yeah,
the best
Godspeed.
band on the planet. But
Arcade
that's for
Fire.
another. That's for another
That's
time.
another one.
Okay, yeah, okay, another time. Right.
Yeah.
Should we
That'd
move
be
on?
Canada,
Should we move on in the album? We talked about anxiety.
Anxiety.
What's next?
We've talked
Monotony.
about anxiety
Monotony comes
for
next.
so long. It's giving me anxiety.
Oh,
Oh.
very nice, very nice.
Okay, the
Right.
banter conscious now with Mike. Go.
Yeah, so the next song is Monotony. It's a very short song. It's only a couple of minutes, 3 minutes.
Yeah.
This song has been stuck in my head actually all of today.
Yeah.
There's just certain like audio snippets, vocal snippets from Preoccupations, Viet Cong that just honestly get stuck in my head, and I can't wait to hear them in their songs.
Yeah.
You know,
We are going to see them
Monotony,
live.
We are seeing.
We
them
are going to
live.
see them live soon.
And I've bought a ticket
We'll give updates.
finally.
Yeah, well,
After
Sam,
a week of them telling me to buy a ticket, I finally got my arse in gear
only
and bought
took
a ticket.
us nagging you and making you like Anxiety off their new album.
Mate, I love anxiety.
Yeah.
Go on, Mike.
Both the song
we
and
always?
the thing.
Yeah. So the next few tracks, you have Monotony and Zodiac. They transition quite well.
They transition
They do.
extremely
They
well.
transition
actually.
extremely
Yeah.
well, and they're both very vocally strong. I'd
So
say.
well, in fact, that sometimes you can
And they're
you
addictive.
don't even realise.
First
you've
time
moved
I
on to the
listened,
next track.
I
Yeah.
thought it was one full
Yes,
song.
yes.
If I hadn't heard Anxiety Now on its own as a single, I would
Yeah.
have thought
Yeah,
it
because
was
it goes.
song.
The transition to anxiety to monotony is also quite good as well.
Yeah.
Because I got confused by the track listing.
And I
the first
will-
couple of times I listened to it. I'm like,
Yeah, it's a little bit odd.
What
I will
is
say at this
from
point in the album, you're 3 tracks in, you do actually honestly feel a little bit of anxiety. This I will say, this album, as an overview, quickly, does drag your emotions through a bit of a journey.
Yeah.
If you listen to it, and that is because of the very next track following these 3.
Oh.
My favourite track, honestly, on the album, the
I second that.
second single was it?
This
they
one wasn't
released?
released as was this released as a single? I think this was
It
the
might have been
third.
the third one.
This was
That's
the third
it.
single
The
that came
third
out.
single,
Memory.
My favourite single that was released, and my favourite on the album. The context made it better.
Oh, memory.
What a track! It is 11 minutes long. It's one of the tracks I've described where they have a bit of a jam going on, and it gets stuck in your head, and then out of nowhere it will just naturally shift to something
Yeah.
else. They'll just cut it off, and
It
then
just goes in a completely.
you'll just be
different
pulled into some
direction.
different direction. Yeah, and it is honestly it is amazing. There's 2 or 3. I'd say there's 3 parts to this
There's
song.
3 sections to the song.
There's 3
yeah.
sections. Yeah.
The first 2 parts vital. Third part you can skip.
Third
The
part.
third part is
okay.
vital to the album. That's what I say. I maintain it. Every time I listen to the song, I like play it through speakers. I cut the third act out
Yeah.
because it's one of these sort of crackling background noises you have in albums to give yourself a breather, and really it pulls you in. You're feeling the anxiety up to this point, thanks to tracks such as Anxiety. You get to Memory, it's a banger, and then you're dragged out through this third act, which is just this weird faint sounds in the background. I believe it was made using a vibrating dildo on a drum.
Yes, that's right. I saw a behind the scenes
This is the
video
Sam
from
did
them.
Not know.
They were recording.
Good lads.
Well, they had. Oh, who was it? I'm not even sure if it was the drummer who was doing it. Although
I don't know.
I might be mistaken.
I mean, it doesn't take a drummer
But
to chuck a dildo on a
they're
drum.
basically like they depressed the lever.
I've learned that.
They depressed the lever on the snare drum, so all the the rattling metal bits at the bottom were disconnected, and they just got a vibrating dildo and kind of set at different frequencies and just held it against the skin of the drum. And recorded that.
And that's the sound you hear, and it is vital to the album.
And I think that sound I'm pretty sure appears throughout the track.
Yeah, it does.
It's kind of
low
hype.
key.
It's not just.
So what you're saying
Lo-fi,
is the vibrating dildo is the best band member of Preoccupations.
My favourite.
In
terms
of
technical skill, I'd definitely say so.
And the most important part of this album.
Did very well.
Although you wouldn't think it, because at this point, during this vibrating dildo sound section, you feel very dreary.
You do?
No, you can't help it.
That's why you need
on the first
dildo
listen.
in your life.
Yeah, that's it.
Spice it up a bit.
You need to know it's a dildo because otherwise you're in a very dark place and amongst your own emotions. Just because it drags you out and you're waiting on what's coming next, and this third act pulls you along. Then you get to my second favourite song on the album. My second favourite, Following Memory.
Degraded.
A fraction. Yeah, it's Degraded. It's got another beautiful vocal snippet, Degraded to a fraction of yourself. It's got some super high.
You can stop that now, Julian.
Oh.
To be fair, you've been pretty good about not being saying pussy, so.
Pussy.
Julian's getting told off now.
I've been a good boy.
Julian's our daddy, and he likes to spank us when we're bad. So, Degraded, this next song, it's got, again, like I was saying, this beautiful audio snippet, Degraded to a fraction of ourselves. It plays again and again, and it's just got this sort of rising electronic tube. I don't know how to explain it. It's quite hard to explain.
It is.
It's like a not whirring, but rising of like pitch, buzz sort of thing in the background. And obviously, this is playing over classic Preoccupations, Viet Cong, like drum beats that are
very standard drumming. Like no discredit to Mike Wallace, the drummer, though, because he's.
I think it's very good though. I think
he's really really tight when he plays.
That's it. That's all he needs to be.
Plays out of time.
And he just keeps his drumming throughout.
Put it on the drum.
Yeah, and because of his drumming.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Sam, don't interrupt me with your sexual advances. It's getting a little close.
I can't do it. I leaned close to the mic and I was just staring at the mic's eyes.
He's on my bed. He's taken my bed.
I have.
He's already made my bed a little bit wet. I'm not sure if it's the water bottle he's holding or something else. He's getting a bit giddy, to be honest.
Yeah. Bjork wasn't so goddamn cute.
Oh,
yeah.
no.
I thought about that TV thing and I just thought that it's like a city. Look at it.
It's
like
the
a
wires.
little city.
They push the electrons.
I got a little soggy.
Oh no.
Sauce Bjork.
So that's another tangent between songs. We've only got a few more songs to go, and my bed's gonna get pretty soggy by the end of this.
Oh.
So that's Degraded. Second favourite song. That was their second.
That was the second single they released.
Yeah. I didn't like it when it was a single. I heard it on the album. I liked it a lot, and it was a late bloomer for me. Mm-hmm. I've only just got into it, and I really like it.
Next two tracks. Very interesting.
They are interesting. These are the short tracks I've mentioned before.
Yes.
They are a minute long and a minute and a half. And these are the ones that seem like they could go on for longer. And they're
cut it off.
Yep. And it plays with the pacing. Again, you've already been through the whole works with the weird last half of Memory. And this bit really, cuts you off. Doesn't give you quite the satisfying ending you feel like you should get.
Yeah.
And then that's just them toying with your emotions throughout the thing.
Pretty much.
It's an emotional roller coaster.
It is an emotional roller coaster. It's very much that.
You hear that riff and you're like, yes. Give me it, Daddy. Preoccupations, and they cut it off.
They do. They honestly always leave you wanting more. Both albums, they do these riffs. They leave you wanting more. I'm thirsty for Preoccupations.
I'm thirsty.
And they cut it off. They cut it off in their tracks, and I think that's a selling point for me. You said it wasn't earlier. I think it is, and that's
in the context of the album, it changes. If they released those two as singles, everyone would be disappointed.
Hence, they didn't. That's
exactly.
Very clever boys.
But you see,
this
is why you're doing computer science.
I should be a manager for the band. I tell them to use more dildos on their drums. Anyway, next song. we got the two last songs here. These two are also massive favourites of mine. You know, like
You said that about every track. Can you just say you like the album instead of
the gist of it is
next
I
track-
like the album.
the
I know
next track?
right,
Definitely
okay.
one of
One
my
of my
favourites.
favourites.
No. Okay, I like the album for the emotional journey, okay? And I have to describe the journey to describe why I like it. That's my argument.
I like the album for the dildo.
Well, you didn't know that until now, so I guess you didn't like the album.
Oh,
Why are you in this podcast, lad? Why are you making
It's
my
all
bed
over.
so wet?
you know.
So yeah, last two tracks, quickly, very, very quickly, because Sam's just ruining my bed. I want him off.
Boys.
Stimulation and Fever, the last two tracks. Stimulation is very good. It's quite addictive. It's a fun one.
It is a fun one.
It comes out of nowhere.
It's more fun than the rest.
It still feels quite dark though, a little bit. You still feel a tiny bit of the tension left, but it's easing it. And then you hit Fever.
Then you hit Fever.
Fever is masterful on the album.
I got the fever!
Shut up.
Not that Fever. Julian's addicted to death grips. We all know that.
Yeah.
You can't help but break out sometimes. And a few blah 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 blahs. Yeah. But Fever, I'd say, is an essential track on the album. You need it. It lifts you back out of that dark place. Yeah. It reminds you that nothing's wrong. You have no fever.
So we've got a very uplifting finish.
It does
which
have
is-
an uplifting feel. It
To
puts
be
you
honest,
back
I
where you
didn't
started.
expect the uplifting finish.
No.
When I listened to it, because 8 out of 9 tracks have all been
Dreary.
dark and
Yeah,
dreary
yeah.
and grim like usual.
But you really enjoy it. You really
You do.
enjoy that Fever at the end, and you need it. The album needs it. So again, that's the overview of the album. I loved it. The first listen, I loved it. The standout song was Memory.
What about second listen?
Second listen, I loved it even more. I got to know all the smaller tracks. I got to appreciate Degraded. I got to appreciate Fever at the end.
Yeah,
It's a good album. It's a good
it's a
album.
good listen.
Good album.
So how many music points out of 10 does
Music points
does
out of 10.
Preoccupations by Preoccupations get?
My arbitrary score is going to be 2 out of 10.
2 out of 10.
My scale is logarithmic.
Not as good as Shark Tale.
My scale is logarithmic,
Not as
and
good
also it's negated. So work that out, suckers.
What the fuck's wrong with you?
I do maths in computer science. If I mention that, so I think this is a good time to move on, maybe to our second topic.
Converge to a limit.
Well, I think we've reached our limit, Sam. I think we've reached our limit.
I've never reached my limit.
Okay,
Yeah,
guys.
So
This
I'd
is your
say-
this is your
Saltier than
captain
ever.
speaking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To tell you that we
didn't-
need to talk about.
I didn't get to give it my score.
Oh, go on, Sam.
That's
Do
because
yours.
your score doesn't mean shit.
Yes,
Let's
that is-
move on.
Excuse me.
Just shout your
I'll
score
give
out
it-
at a random time.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah. I know what he's gonna say. He's told me his score.
Yeah. Just to put in reference, Shark Tale, the game, the soundtrack, for me, that's an 8 out of 10. So you
8 out of
can
10.
take it as you
So
want.
that's the.
But
that's
that's
the
like a
test.
masterpiece of work. That's on the level of the classical composer Beethoven.
Beef oven.
Beef
One of my favourites.
I love putting it in the beef oven. You can quote me on that.
I sure will.
Yeah, that sums it up really.
Yeah.
Sam's gonna shout his score out later.
Beethoven. Yeah.
Keep an ear out for that.
Carry on watching, viewer.
Carry on watching.
Please, we've seen our analytics. You don't watch for long.
5 minutes at most. Please listen for the hour. We should do this more often.
3% girls. What the fuck are we doing?
Do you know what?
You need to ramp up the sexuality.
We
mate.
do. Well, that's why
Should
we
we
We've
just
had dildo talk. I think that's
We
enough.
get
for this
really close
episode.
into the mic for a
Should we do it ASMR style?
No. ASMR.
It's like a city.
It's like a little city.
Those wires, they really take care of all the electrons.
I read it in a Danish book.
in a Danish book. As a heads up, you need to see that clip. Can we
As-
link that in the description?
As a
I
heads
can
up,
like
we
put
link
an
that
annotation up or
as
something.
a heads
Yes.
up, don't let poets lie to you. That's all I'm saying.
You need to see this clip of Bjork.
Yeah. It made me fall in.
She's so cute.
It made me fall in. And she's single.
And she's single.
That made me fall in love with Bjork. Not the video where she's fucking put holes in herself and
Yeah, but you
attached
see her
a
tits
frog.
in that one.
See a bit of nip.
You do see a bit of nip.
A little bit. You see one a little bit.
Yeah, it's a good video. Both are good videos.
10 out of 10, more than a little bit of nip.
Yeah, that's all the porn I need. Let's move on. I think we can't move on. Julian's
Let's
dying.
We've broken.
Should we talk about Neutral Milk Hotel?
Yes, please.
Neutral Meme Hotel.
Now I can. Now
This
I
is
can
Sam's.
say more things.
Yeah, this is
So
Sam's
who wants to
favourite.
introduce Neutral Milk Hotel for
I think
us?
Sam
Sam.
should, yeah.
I will. They're a good band. That's it. That's it.
That is it. to
I'll
be
take
fair.
my leave.
Go on, Sam.
They released 2 albums, and then were never seen ever again.
No.
It's very sad. Mostly because one's a lot better than the other one.
Yeah.
But the album we're going to be talking about is In the Aeroplane Over the Sea, which is it's like folk rock,
It's like lo-fi.
indie,
Lo-fi.
it's just fucking great. And you can quote me on that. Bloody hell, is this album good?
This
It's
is
a
a great
classic.
album.
It's so
Instant classic.
fucking good.
Yeah.
Like we originally introduced to it via Julian because in the second track, King of Carrot Flowers Part 2 and 3, there's a very funny part at the start where he yells about his love for Christ.
I love you,
Holy fuck, this is going longer than expected. Abort! Get the fuck off the bed.
I need to take a breather.
Nice
Jesus
soggy
Christ.
spot. So, and from there, I then listened to the rest of the album and absolutely loved it.
It
Because
is a solid album.
It's great.
It's a
just
good album.
great.
Yeah.
Amazing.
It's absolutely amazing.
The thing I noticed most recently when I went to re-listen to it, a bit of research for the podcast, I've got to know what I'm talking about. Even I don't know.
No, he just talks about how he wants to fuck Bjork.
I do, but
That's all it is.
I found the instrumentation on this album very, very strong. I really
it's
loved
great.
it. The mix of sounds is great. You've got the folky sort of guitar. You have just sound in the background sometimes, just like noise.
It's almost
noise
like
rock hitting you.
Yeah, it's almost like vinyl scratches as you play it, but blown really loud in the mix.
Blown out speaker version.
And
of
if you've
that.
never heard it, basically the instrumentation is they take every guitar and every voice, every part of the band, and they just fucking blow it out pretty much.
Can we also shout out Jeff Mangum's amazing singing voice?
His voice is amazing.
His
has a
voice
lovely
makes this
voice.
album.
It
Yes,
does.
it
It's
does.
surrounded by all sorts of warm trumpets and stuff.
His voice and the
guitars swirling
lyrics.
around.
The lyrics of this album.
And the lyrics of the album
They are
are
very, very
all sorts
deluxe.
of weird.
peculiar.
they're deluxe level,
But they're
strong.
great.
It's
Yeah.
he creates
Deluxe
this
level
weird, fantastic world of girls becoming little boys in Spain, playing pianos filled with flames on empty rings around the sun, or some shit.
Yep.
And it's just
But you know what he's talking about, even though you have no fucking clue.
Yeah.
That's the thing. The emotional punch of each. You know what I mean, probably. But the emotional punch of each song is strong.
It's
and it hits in one of those deep down places that only classical albums can. That's what I'd say.
It's sort of it's a great mix because you got some songs which are electric guitar and you got some songs which are more acoustic, but everything's just loud and like pumped up to 11, and it's just going, and you got the folky vocals and everything.
he's not afraid to let his voice really wander to places it shouldn't.
Yeah,
go.
he's
His voice wobbles when he can't okay,
But he makes it work.
Singing along to this album is exhausting.
It is.
Because he holds his
kills
notes for so long, and at such he's got
And it's very high as well.
such a range.
If I want to sing it in the shower, I have to go an octave lower, and I'm very, as someone who's been in a choir, I'm not proud of it.
It's a bit odd for me when I hear Sam just grunting in the shower for a very long time, just like, "I love you, Jesus Christ," like that sort of level.
No,
That's what he reaches.
that wasn't me singing the album.
Oh. Sam, get off my bed, please.
All this talk of Jesus Christ.
I think up in the corner of the video, we should just have like a sogginess, like percent,
sogginess
like,
level, sogginess.
like Mike's bed sogginess level.
It'd be off the
Percentage.
chart. We need a bigger video screen for
right
it.
now. It's getting like 60%. I'd say sogginess.
Not nice.
Oh.
Yeah. So anyway, back to the album.
Back to
the album.
From the sogginess to the album. I'd say his vocal delivery adds a lot of weight to the songs. Because you just feel the power in what he's doing. Because he sings it.
So emotional.
It is so emotional.
If you had
really
someone
emotional.
rubbish singing it, it just wouldn't work.
It wouldn't work. No, it wouldn't.
Can we quickly shout out what's the cover version in the Aero Skank over the checkered pattern? Or
Yeah.
that weird Scar remake.
It's a
album.
horrific.
Oh my god!
It's a horrific thing on Bandcamp.
Yeah.
Which is they've taken every song in the album, given it a cheesy like ska name, and then done it in a ska style, but it's terribly recorded, and it's just
vocals are not.
It's
good.
just flipping cancerous. To be fair.
Is completely.
Like you can just feel the tumours growing as you listen to this thing.
That is a testament as to
how good of a meme
how
it is.
how good of an album it is, and how like difficult it is to replicate. As much as it sounds kind of primitive because it's lo-fi-ness and the vocals and whatnot. But
what would be your favourite song from the album?
my favourite song from the album, I'm gonna have to go with Holland 1945.
I would have said the exact same thing, my friend.
What did they?
Yes, just that bit. It's
Yeah,
so good.
yeah, no, I agree with that.
That's like
The only girl I've ever loved.
Fucking hell, my neighbours.
out of 10.
Fucking hell, my neighbours.
Jesus Christ, we got people living below us as well. Well,
We're upstairs, you cuck.
yeah, but
There's
she's
still-
still gonna hear your fucking ape screaming.
Bonobo,
Hey,
you're-
instead.
You're a fucking ape. You're an ape.
I'm dying. Julian's killed me. Fucking hell, I can't keep up with his vocals.
No.
I can't. It's
See, this is exactly what singing along to the album's
I
like.
just
It
can't
does.
keep up with how much of a fucking degenerate you
It's
are.
a very meme-worthy album, like meme-worthy and
memes.
easily memeable because
Yeah.
of this singing.
but,
And
but at the same
the
time, it's
classicness.
just such a good album.
even with the memes,
I feel like
you
I
just
feel like
dig
half
for
of this segment is just gonna be me going, it's just such a good album.
Yeah,
Oh,
it is.
hey,
a
when
classic,
I think
Well,
about
you
it,
imagine what the
saltiness
episodes
goes
that-
up by 10%.
When we do episodes dedicated to like our favourite artists,
Yeah, it's
we're
just
all going to
good.
be doing that for the whole fucking thing.
just so good. Like
Yeah.
Drones by Music. I'm talking about the song, not
Drones
the
is my favourite song, and in the airplane
Yeah.
over the sea.
It's just so good.
Oh, what a good finisher!
Yeah.
Oh,
I played it to Mike the other day because we got a speaker in our kitchen, so
Yeah.
we just play tunes while we're cooking. I played
Yeah.
it to him, and I could see like the will to live just like draining from him.
you could
It was
also see
fantastic.
me climb into the oven and ask Sam to chuck the microwave in with a fork in
Yeah.
it.
Basically-
Turn the heat up.
Yep.
Turn the heat way up, way up,
Way up.
way up. Just chuck bleach, buckets of bleach on me,
Yeah.
and
he
let me
wanted to
cook that. I wanted to suffer.
He wanted to like die in like 3 different ways at exactly the same time.
Yeah.
And I don't
one
blame
of them
you.
might be quicker. That was the thinking.
Dude, I don't blame you, to be honest. That is a horrendous song.
Yeah.
And I had to listen to it twice.
10 out of
live
10.
When I paid 70 quid to see those cucks. And they play it fucking 2 times.
2 episodes in a row. 2 episodes in a row.
Mate.
Sam is salty, and it's soggy on my bed.
I'm
I'm gonna.
I think those are my running
experience the
themes.
saltiness.
Talking about Shark Tale and
Shark Tale.
drones, those are my 2. Those like stick in the back of my mind.
Can we quickly talk about the
Basically,
album
'cause
cover
they're
of
mostly
Meme
a
Hotel? Let's go back to Meme Hotel
Yeah.
for a bit, because that's what we're here to do.
We are here to do it. Yeah.
The album cover.
No, we're not.
As you can probably see on the
We're
video.
here to
if you're
talk
watching
about
the video.
sogginess
So,
of Mike's
few
bed.
questions about this.
Mhm.
Yes.
Is it a potato, or is it a tambourine?
It's a tambourine.
It's tambourine. Okay.
Defo.
Go on.
I have no
Explain.
idea. What's your thinking? Why?
Well, let me just look at this. I'll try not to play it so we don't get fucking copyrighted. I'm just trying to bring up the...
The only reason we're getting copyrighted is because they think that my singing is just as good as
it's
Jeff
just so
We're
damn
screwed.
good. Yeah, that's a tambourine. You can see the like little cymbal bits coming out from the side, can't you?
The little symbol bits.
No, little like...
I
you know,
sort of
little-
see what you mean, but like,
Yeah. You know, tambourines have like... Take a cymbal, select it in MS Paint and like... You know... Make
Scale
it
it down.
small, scale
Yeah.
it down.
Do you mean the little like cord that goes around the outside? Is that what you're talking about?
No.
no, you know, the
Look,
little,
see
little
those
symbol
like
things.
beige bits? Those are the symbols on the tambourine.
This is someone's face we're talking about on the cover of this
Yeah.
album. Yeah.
This is someone's face.
Mate, this is
Apparently.
a riveting section, isn't it? While we all flipping
Viewer,
look
type
at a
in the
picture.
comments. Hey, nice little plug. Type in the comments what you think it is. Is it Tom York's face? If you
Type
squinted
in
at
the
it,
comments where you want to be placed on the gangbang list.
top of the list.
Now, Bjork's first.
No, yeah.
Mike was
No,
chatting
top.
shit about you while you weren't here. But yeah, you're on the bottom of the list. Because Mike, you
are on the list,
lowest priority.
Well, bottom of the list means bottom of the pile. Some people like that. Some people like that.
Hey, why don't I get to be bottom of the list? But!
Well,
Alright.
you're second to bottom. I hope you get crushed
Okay.
in the mix. The silence after that was golden. I drank every second of that in. Just like I drank in
To be
every
honest,
second of this album.
I'd happily be crushed by Naked Bjork and
I know she's
Naked
on. There's
Tom York.
stuff in between. Like you might get crushed by Mike. You might get crushed by.
I'm in
Mike's
there
put below
somewhere.
him, but
Yeah.
above you.
on in the like sandwich.
Yeah.
The sugar cubes.
It's
all
like
of
the
them are in it.
sandwiches they
All
make.
of them.
It's like the sandwiches they make in Scooby Doo. You know when like when
Oh, I do
Shaggy
know
when
the
Shaggy and
ones.
Scooby get like a stack of
Yeah.
of like meat and a stack of bread and they just like shove them together.
That's a sandwich.
Like an infant.
It's like
wedge
that.
it in.
It's like a
Pick it
city.
up.
Wedge it in like an infant. What the fuck?
Yeah, that's what happens in Scooby Doo, right?
That's what you do with infants, right? You just
Wedge them in.
My
Wedge 'em
parents
in?
did that to me.
Just use and make sure the door doesn't close.
wedge
the
them
greatest
in and
mystery.
drop them on their heads.
I would have got
No,
away with
that's-
it if it weren't for you meddling kids.
You
What are
meddling
you playing at?
You meddling infants.
Infants.
Basically,
Jesus
that's
Christ.
what the gangbang's gonna look like. It's just gonna be like a massive thing. Maybe you can like change your bed so it's like a Scooby Doo bed. So like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a little bottom of the sandwich.
Yeah.
And then meat in the middle.
yeah.
All I need is a top layer sandwich.
Mm.
Top layer, bit of bread. Bread and butter.
Yeah. It's true. That's
Can,
what a
look at it.
sandwich
Can
is
we
like.
can we make this sandwich out of white bread so I can be right on the top?
Whoa.
Can I be the white bread?
I'm sorry, but
No, I'm being
Bjork is
triggered.
pretty fucking white.
No,
so
can
she
we just go
right on
back?
top.
Why
Oh,
white bread? Why not 50-50 in this modern age?
Excuse me, white bread is so much better for making
Can you
sandwiches.
just stop catering to everyone who's going to get triggered by white bread?
Viet Cong.
Viet
Why
Cong-
are you saying white bread?
Viet Cong bread is my favourite.
Preoccupation bread is what you should say
Oh,
now.
fine.
Oh, well, that was
God
last
damn it.
segment. So this segment in Aeroplane Over the Sea,
back to it, boys.
Untitled. I've heard. Is this correct? That was not on some of the certain releases of the album. It's the second to last track.
Yeah.
Track 10 out of 11.
Very
Yeah,
str-
I've
it's
heard
very
it's-
strange.
I really enjoy it.
It's got
Yeah.
bagpipes on it,
It does have bagpipes. Yeah.
but I weirdly like it.
So do I.
Fucking
It-
love bagpipes.
Again, every bit of
When I think about
instrumentation feels warm in this album.
Sogginess percentage goes up with bagpipes.
Yeah?
There is
Great to know.
there is a positive correlation between.
I've seen Sam in bed with a bagpipe. I've seen him spooning a bed
No,
pipe.
that was my body pillow.
Oh,
It's just got
it's
a
a
ba-
Scottish body
It's just
pillow.
got an anime babe as a bagpipe on the front of it.
Jesus
Fucking
Christ.
hell.
Well, Sam likes to blow that
I
one.
need to be fucking obliterated. I'm just fucking disgusting.
I think what's happened this episode is I've dragged Sam down to my level. I think that's
Yeah.
happened.
I think we're gonna like take it in turns to just be. We're gonna like out degenerate each other
Yeah.
Until-
I don't know
until-
if Julian can.
until like this. No, Julian's not involved. Julian just sits here and like wants to die because
Yeah,
he's
it's a
having
disapproving
because
look
he's
on his
having
face.
to work with us.
I've got plenty of reasons for wanting to die. It's either this or go home and just look over the fucking algebra sheet and
Oh, yeah.
in complete disbelief.
Fairs.
Fair dues.
Yeah, but it's like there's one algebra sheet. There's two of us.
What are you trying to say?
I'm saying this is doubly as bad as doing algebra sheet.
But,
So go home and do your homework.
but
We'll do the podcast. We're better than you.
I feel like
It's
it'll
got
be
a
off the
point.
rails. Just like my maths. Just like my algebra ability is off the rails.
Just like my life. Where's the razor blade?
Sam, don't
my wrist?
cut. Don't cut. Just stab. Stab.
Don't cut. Horizontally, cut along the artery. You fucking disgrace of a human being.
Yeah, well,
That's what I say every morning in the mirror.
yeah. Do you know what?
This has got dark.
This album, no, to get back to the album,
Yeah.
when you first told me about it, I thought it'd be one of those classic albums that would drag you through the mud emotionally so that I would want to cut myself vertically.
Why would you?
But it's not. It's
No.
really quite warm, even though I think the content of the album is very dark.
Yeah.
I've heard.
Is it dark?
Yeah,
I
I've heard.
think it is.
I've heard the context of the album.
Because Holland 1945, as far as I know, is
Yes.
World War II.
It's very
inspired.
much. You know, maybe Anne Frank on the cover. That's
Maybe.
speculation. It's very much to do with
Although
the
her face
Holocaust.
looks a bit tambourine-y to me.
A little bit, yeah.
Or is it potato? Let's go back
Hard
to
to
that.
Fine,
section
you
for
can have
fucking
it.
20
You can
minutes.
have it. It's a tambourine.
Tambourine boys, yes.
Tambourine, yeah. But I'd say the context of the album, the content of the lyrics, I'd say there's a dark undertow there, but you don't necessarily feel it. You feel
Yeah,
warm.
I don't listen to it. I'm just like, oh, this is nice.
Yeah.
Folk with some rocky elements. I'm gonna sit here and feel happy.
It does make you feel reason to be happy. It's
It
very
does.
interesting to
I
listen
want to
to.
erupt when I fucking listen to it. By the end, I'm bursting.
Emotionally.
Emotionally bursting.
Yeah. Emotionally.
Sam, stop emoting on my bed. You're
Oh,
emotionally
there's
bursting
there's
everywhere.
There's fucking emotions everywhere, boys. Sogginess is going off the charts.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I feel like my bed's going to drip down onto the carpet and it's going to drip down to one of our housemates below. It's going to drip on Nick. That's what's going to happen, Sam.
You get wrecked.
What a way to go,
That's what
drowning
he
in the
gets
middle
for
of the
making me-
night.
That's what he gets for complaining to me for not doing the washing up.
Well, you didn't do it, but then you did.
Yeah,
when
but
you
then
complained.
I did do like I did all the washing up the day before,
Yeah.
and I made the flipping cupboard look amazing.
Washing up, a
And
great
then-
opportunity to listen to music.
It
And
is.
spoon with Sam.
Yeah, pretty much what happens is like we stick on some music.
Mm.
I go at the front and I start doing the
It's a
washing
bit
up.
like that
and then,
scene from Ghost.
Yeah, what with the
Yeah,
prostitute?
I'm behind.
It's like that. Yeah,
I
yeah.
guide Sam's hand. I
But
don't want to
it's-
touch the washing up,
but
but
it's-
it needs to get washed up.
Yeah.
So
It's
I help
just
guide
so much
him.
more sexual than that.
Yeah,
scene,
yeah.
Really.
I'm quite turned on already. And we're not even doing it, Sam.
We should write a novel about that, and we can sell it to middle-aged horny women, and make fucking millions like 50 Shades.
Make some dough.
Yeah, make a film.
Make a film.
We can star.
Oh, I already have, but not in this film. It's a separate film.
In certain
We'll do that one on a different podcast. Gangbang list with Bjork.
She's single.
It's not a fan-made film, but she is single, and so is Tom. So yeah. Anyway, Julian, is there any way you can get
back to in the aeroplane over.
Is there any way you can get this back on track, Julian?
For fuck's sakes.
This is your job. This is why you're here on the podcast to keep
You're not
us
doing a very good job for
sane.
us, Stewie. Get the fuck out.
He's very speechless right now. His expressions look like
Pink
if
guy.
we both had like a really big fish, like a big salmon, and we were just slapping him,
Yeah.
like square on the nose. Just
Yeah.
both me and Sam. He looks at us.
both of that. And
We slap him on the
And
face.
also, if he was a
That's
product
the
of
look.
incest.
You see,
then
you'd
how,
actually be
like,
triggering me there because I'm allergic to fish.
Really?
My face might well have burst by then.
Oh God. Oh no.
Oh boy, I'm going getting some cod fillets from the freezer, boys.
I feel like Julian wants this to happen at this point in the podcast, though.
It's just like,
I feel bad.
please fucking burst my face with a fish. Because I can't handle you two cunts.
Can you edit a little fish into the aeroplane the sea thing? Can you have it like slapping off the tambourine, just bouncing onto her face, or I won't assume gender. Looks like a her. It's got a skirt on, but I'm not going to trigger anyone. So keep that one.
You already did with Viet Cong, to be fair.
Cis male scum.
Oh
Get the fuck
no!
out. There are 72 genders. Maybe even more.
I'm offended. I am.
I'm offended that these people exist.
Yeah, I am. But it's an offence cycle if you do that.
It's a vicious cycle of wanting to fucking die.
Speaking of which, Julian is eating
Continue.
chocolate right now.
Julian's just resorted to fucking eating
He's
chocolate
not
now.
involved in this podcast. He's just a man sitting on a chair eating chocolate. He's phased out the world. He has. He's phased it out. I don't know if I can reach him.
Are we fucking done yet?
Right, should we round up the fuck.
Round
Too
up the
tired
fuck.
for this shit. No. No. Should we round up our opinions on In the Aeroplane over the meme, and then we can go to bed?
9 out of 10 album, 10 out of 10 meme.
Oh, that's quite good.
10 out of 10 album, 9 out of 10 meme.
2 out of 10
Fuck,
album.
son, we've got a disagreement.
1
over
out of
here.
10 meme. Think about my rating system.
Why did you fucking whisper that to me? Just whisper sweet nothings into my ear.
Bjork.
And then all of a sudden, Sam just like, oh.
And then I fucking erupt. All the emotions.
Look, it's getting late. Me and Sam need to go to bed. I whispered something in his ear.
We've actually had started lectures this week. I think that's
we
why
have.
we're all like this.
You can tell the difference. You can compare this episode and the first one and tell the difference.
To be honest, I've had like a good day and I'm pumped and I'm still fucking knackered.
Yeah. Well, you
Climbing.
will be knackered after what we do.
God.
So in the aeroplane over the
Deloitte
sea.
told me I'm not a degenerate, so all good.
It's nice, yeah.
In the Aeroplane Over the Sea.
Yeah.
Classic.
I think it's a classic.
Obviously,
I consider it a classic. Obviously, it's very warm. Like I said,
that's
the feeling I get.
Do you think they're gonna pull an Avalanches and make like another song?
I think they're long gone because it is now 18 years since.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But think about it. Avalanche's new album. It was half of it was good.
Yeah.
And how long do they take? 16 years.
16 years.
So if they wait 32 years working on this album, it'll be all good.
You see, yes, I can tell you do maths.
Half times 2 is 1, ladies and gentlemen.
Can't confirm.
We'll leave it a little bit so they can do their working out. Alright.
Yep. Cool. We've got results in. The results are in.
The results are in.
You are not the father.
Yay. What is wrong with this fucking podcast?
You're the one saying that I was the father earlier.
You are the father.
You are.
But in this episode, you abandoned us.
Danny.
Puppy.
I try not
Pops. Pop. You abandoned us, Pops. In this episode, Sody Popper, you abandoned us.
Yeah, can you fucking see why?
This is just a fucking slur of me.
We're sorry for this.
Jesus Christ,
sorry.
I'm going to the pub after this. I need a fucking drink.
I'm going to the cleaning store because I need some bleach.
Yeah, that too. When I said I needed a drink, I didn't mean alcohol. I meant need to drink some cleaning products to end my miserable existence.
Yeah, well,
I think it's time to rename this podcast Edgy Memes for...
Yeah, rename this podcast
For no one.
For Sam's an edgy boy.
For edging, too. Edgy memes for edging, too.
Are we calling this the end of the podcast?
We got to talk about what we're doing next time.
Oh yeah.
What
we do next time?
What we're doing next time,
We
boys.
are having a special guest next time.
We are.
We're not going to name him, obviously, because that would be, spoiling it a little bit. But
Because
you found that much
because
out,
everyone knows who this person is, and they're going to be like, "Oh, it's him."
Yep.
Won't listen because he's a cuck.
That's because only our friends listen to this podcast, and we make them.
Yeah.
So we say
We nag them on Facebook
We nag
24/7. Yeah.
So shout out to you if you're a friend of
we
ours.
know who you are, and we're so sorry.
We're
Sam
sorry
is,
you know
I'm not
us.
sorry for anything.
Well,
Sorry, not sorry.
sums up the
Alright.
podcast, really, doesn't it?
So,
There's going to be 4 people on the next one.
who are we going to be talking about?
We're going to talk
boys?
about one of my favourite rappers right now, whose name is Danny Brown.
That's my
I
that's my impression of Danny Brown. sounds like fucking Danger Mouse, mate. Don't even know what Danger Mouse sounds like. He just sounds like a fucking rat. He does make some good songs though. And then on the other side of the spectrum,
Then we're going to talk
we're going to
about
be talking about Arctic Monkeys, boys.
It's certainly a spectrum. This is going to be controversial.
the autism spectrum.
We are gonna be getting mad at each other because these cocks don't like Alex Turner and how he's a sex god.
No, say that.
So
I don't like him.
You're the one who retracted
will
your
say
offer
that.
to Alex Turner,
yeah,
sex
I mean,
god.
you know,
I'm sorry.
I haven't got all the time of the bloody day, and to be honest, like Bjork's above Alex Turner on my list now.
Well, yeah, it's the television thing, isn't it? You know,
Yeah,
linked to that video.
I think
you know?
like Courtney Barnett might be above Alex as well. But
Well, it's
we'll
up to
talk
you,
about
lad.
her maybe on a further episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
Sam
so
is obviously of the opinion that Arctic Monkeys are kind of god tier,
I wouldn't say god tier. They're very good.
but very good. Okay,
AM's a pile of shit, but other than that,
we'll get to the rest of it next
Fantastic.
time because some of us have different
Great.
opinions. We're going to settle it once and for all.
Mine's very different, my
Yeah.
opinion. So it needs settling. That's what I'd say.
That's what I'm
That's
gonna
why
do.
you should listen to the next episode.
No, I'm sure our special guest cannot wait to be on the next episode.
He doesn't know what he's
listening to
know
this.
what he's in for, does he?
No clue.
I wouldn't be surprised if he kills himself by the end of the podcast.
Yeah. This room's going to be a
I'll
safe
kill
I'm
myself by
space.
the end of
looking
the
forward
podcast
to
either.
it.
I'm surprised Julian's still here, to be honest. He's made it through. He's quite
It's just my
strong.
microphone.
He's resilient.
That's it.
He needs
Yeah.
the microphone. We've like taken it hostage, to be honest. We've almost taken Julian hostage, I'd say that. So don't call the
Probably.
SWAT team to, extract him and
There you
kill
go.
us.
We're gonna
Extract him.
we're
That's
gonna-
what they say.
Why, like a fucking weak tooth or something?
Well, you're a weak link of the podcast. Oh shit!
Sam, sorry, not sorry. I can see it in his face.
He's down.
Oh my God.
Julian's down.
Oh,
Julian's
no.
taking a dive.
Oh, right in the fucking chest.
Oh shit!
He's fallen and he can't get up. What are you doing? Why did you touch the
Thanks
mic?
for listening,
you
everyone.
Fucking idiot.
See you on the next episode.
See you next time.
I love Bjork.
I'm not going to the pub, sad boys. I need a wee.